What if the future of the British monarchy wasn't what everyone expected? What if the next chapter wasn't led by the reigning king, but by a young girl barely into her teenage years? And what does it mean when the royal family, long known for strict tradition, suddenly begins to shift its power in front of the entire world? These questions exploded across headlines and social media after a stunning announcement at Kensington Palace that no one saw coming. An announcement that may have forever changed the crown's path. It happened during what was supposed to be just another calm, respectable charity event. A day filled with polite handshakes, carefully crafted speeches, and photo ops. But instead, Prince William did something no one expected. Standing beside his wife Catherine and their children, George and Charlotte, he stepped up to the microphone and changed the course of royal history. In his voice was a mix of deep emotion and bold confidence. He spoke with respect for his grandmother, the late Queen Elizabeth II, and the legacy she left behind, but then, he turned the page. William declared that his family would be stepping forward in a new and bigger way, taking on more responsibility, and preparing the monarchy for a future that felt less like the past and more like now. But it was what came next that left the entire world in shock. He announced that Princess Charlotte, still so young and innocent in the public's eyes, was ready to begin her royal duties. Not in a small or symbolic way, but in a real, visible role that would place her at the very front of the monarchy's public image. This wasn't just a ceremonial gesture. It was a clear sign that tradition was being reimagined. That the crown was no longer following the old rulebook. Charlotte's elevation wasn't just about youth, it was about gender, power, and the future. For centuries, royal power was passed almost entirely through the hands of men. But now, a girl who hadn't even reached her teenage years was being placed beside her older brother as a face of the crown. This moment cracked open centuries of tradition and signaled that change wasn't coming. It had already arrived. As powerful as this moment was, the silence surrounding it was just as loud. Because noticeably absent from this event were King Charles III and Queen Camilla. And their absence wasn't just a scheduling coincidence. It spoke volumes. Though Charles only recently took the throne, it already feels like his era is fading. Public support for him has been shaky from the beginning, but now, it's become clear that the spotlight, and the people's trust, has shifted to William and Catherine. Poll after poll shows the same thing. The younger royal couple is what people want to see. They seem modern, relatable, and full of genuine warmth. Their mix of grace and accessibility has completely redefined what it means to be royal. In contrast, Charles often comes across as reserved and distant. Even those who respected his long wait for the throne now question if he's the right leader for this moment in time. Behind the scenes, whispers have grown louder. Sources close to the palace suggest that William has been quietly holding meetings with important figures across the Commonwealth, preparing for something bigger. At the same time, Catherine has taken on increasingly strategic roles, advising behind closed doors in ways that were once reserved for the monarch and his inner circle. And yes, even young Charlotte has been attending special sessions designed to prepare her for the spotlight. This isn't a casual decision. It's a coordinated move that hints at a long-term plan. Then there's the mystery of Queen Elizabeth's final letters. It's been reported that she left personal messages for Charles, William, and Catherine. No one outside the family has seen the exact contents, but many believe those letters played a major role in what we're seeing now. William's recent decisions, like skipping a major royal event hosted by Charles in favor of visiting a children's hospital, seem like quiet signals that he is forging his own path. And the message is clear. Leadership in the royal family is no longer about age or title. It's about connection and direction. Charlotte's recent public appearances have only fueled more excitement. She's been praised for her natural confidence, her poise, and even her facial expressions that remind people of her late grandmother and the beloved Princess Diana. Many see her as the perfect blend of royal history and modern spirit. Some even believe she could one day leap past traditional rules and step into an even bigger role. Nothing official has been said about changing the line of succession, but the rumors won't stop. And all of this is unfolding while King Charles himself appears to be struggling. He's missed several important engagements, and there are growing concerns about his health. People close to him say he feels worn down and increasingly unsure of his position. The weight of the crown, which he waited his entire life to wear, seems heavier than ever. Add to that the rising star power of William and his family, and it's no wonder Charles is reportedly frustrated and discouraged. Camilla, too, is said to be growing more bitter behind closed doors. Her rise to queen consort was never smooth. It took years of public scrutiny, and many still view her with skepticism. Now, as William and Catherine dominate headlines and hearts, Camilla reportedly feels pushed to the sidelines once again. To her, Charlotte's rise is not just surprising. It's threatening. She sees her place being rewritten, and it hurts. While Charles and Camilla try to hold on, the spotlight keeps drifting toward the younger royals. Major events increasingly focus on William, Catherine, and their children. The king's efforts to push back with royal tours and official summits haven't landed with the same energy. Even political leaders and royal staff seem to be shifting their attention toward Kensington Palace, quietly preparing for what comes next. Within the palace, tensions are rising. Some insiders speak of awkward silences, tense meetings, and emotional conversations. Others suggest that talk of abdication or a quiet transition of power is no longer just gossip. It's a real possibility. The idea that William might be handed more responsibility, or even the crown itself, is no longer a wild theory. It's starting to feel like an inevitable chapter in a story that's unfolding faster than anyone predicted. In the middle of all this change, Catherine has become more than just a royal spouse. She's emerged as a quiet but powerful force. Her grace and elegance are obvious in public, but behind the scenes, she's said to be deeply involved in strategic planning, helping shape the monarchy's image for the next generation. Her influence reaches far beyond photo ops and interviews. She's the mind behind the movement. Her reputation for kindness and connection only adds to the public's affection. She's not just likable, she's respected. And that matters. Camilla, on the other hand, is facing the opposite. Reports of her anger and isolation are growing. She's allegedly clashing with advisors, feeling left out, and struggling to maintain her role. It's not just about fading popularity, it's about relevance. And right now the public, and the palace, seem to be moving on without her. William and Catherine, with George and Charlotte by their side, now represent a monarchy that feels new, fresh, real. They're not hiding behind royal formality, they're leading with purpose. Their family reflects what many people want from their leaders: strength, honesty, and a real sense of connection. They're not trying to play a part. They're just being themselves, and it's working. Charlotte, especially, has become a symbol of this shift. Her presence in the public eye is powerful, not because of her age, but because of what she represents. A new royal model that includes both tradition and progress. A royal girl who isn't waiting in the wings, she's stepping forward, shoulder to shoulder with her brother. Her rise is more than symbolic. It's historic. This new chapter isn't just about individuals. It's about the whole system changing. The idea that royalty is about distance, mystery, and formality is being replaced by something far more human. William and Catherine's approach to leadership is about empathy, service, and being seen. And in a world that's craving realness over rank, that matters more than ever. So where does that leave Charles and Camilla? Still holding titles, still part of the institution, but no longer at its center. The world is watching as power shifts quietly but unmistakably to a younger, more relatable generation. It's not just a passing trend. It's a transformation. The monarchy, once seen as unchanging, is now evolving in front of our eyes. The decisions made by William and Catherine, the emergence of Charlotte, and the quiet retreat of Charles and Camilla tell a story that's bigger than tradition. It's a story about adapting, surviving, and leading in a time that demands change. And as this royal drama continues to unfold, one thing is certain: this family's next chapter is just beginning. If you found this video as captivating as the story itself, make sure to like it and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss what happens next in the most talked about royal shift in modern history.